I'm Georgia. I'm an artist. I have shaped myself and my life in ways that help me stay an artist. What does that mean? It just means that I'm doing multiple things. I'm what one would say or call a multipotentialite. Maybe not a master in everything, but I've touched everything in the arts from silk screen printing on t-shirts, straight through to arts administration and governance in community and different spaces. So I want to be present here today in a very organic, unpredictable, let go-ish style, if that makes sense. But yeah, I want you to see uncut. I want you to know that I am someone who's discovered how powerful my intuition is and how it's led me to be right here. I just got the tingle.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's real. It's real.
Oh, yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
you're always going to take something away from being in my energy. And I'm now owning that. I'm now touting that almost, right? So
I love that you brought up the intuition because I think that needs to be spoken out loud directly and not hidden and not in metaphor and not, just spoken right out loud what it is and invited right in to be with right here, right now, presence.
yeah. Yeah, it's all like the chills again. And that is what you're saying, though, is right, and not be hidden. But intuition is the thing that we always say, well, we know it's there, but we don't always follow it. We're deliberately hiding it or hiding away from it.
Yeah, absolutely. And there haven't been in Western society avenues of acceptance of that kind of way of knowing. It has been dismissed and disregarded and scorned or punished, outright punished.
Default.
So it's for me, I feel like it's a new, like it's an unshackling, it's a blooming of this way of knowing, way of being that's always been here, but now we're watering it, nurturing it, and letting it be.
Absolutely, absolutely. The finally the like moving together maybe of collective consciousness, I think is what it's known as. But yeah, starting at base, like the simplest thing is that little voice, you know, to trust your gut, like those terms and phrases that we even dismiss, right?
Yeah.
Um, it's the default to, it seems like, as you said, in the Western world, it's the default to dismiss those things and
Yeah.
to punish them, as you said, right? Or like, um,
Yeah.
in that kind
Yeah.
of way,
Right. Right.
I don't know. And then you fall into the truth of things if you decide to follow that. And that's when it gets really kind of amazing because you realize, at least I realize that it's powerful when you use it in a way to decide what the truth is, to figure out what the truth is.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's interesting that you said decide, because I think that's key. I think it's laid out. What are your options? And
Yeah,
we decide what we're going to believe, how we're going to perceive. And that is hugely powerful.
I can't even
But
believe I said that. It's that kind of thing, you know what I mean?
great. And what did you say? What did you say when we were talking last week? You said attention is love. Attention.
Yeah, attention. And paying attention is the greatest form of generosity. It's the most generous thing you could do for someone. When you start to do it, you see the impact of it on others.
And real attention, real presence, being there fully with them, not with your own agenda and whatever it is.
Yeah,
Just, yes.
I can't believe all the chills I'm
I
getting.
know, me too.
Hold on here. Like, nuts.
Yeah,
But
love
yeah,
that.
and I'm always asking questions. So don't be surprised if in between I ask you a question, just because that's, if, can I ask what the, no, not can I ask, because I know what you're going to say, Leslie. You're going to say, no, you can't ask. You've done that in the past. But beloved presence,
Mm.
what was your intention for coming together with like one other person, like me today, now? What do you think about in preparation for that? Like in the process of knowing that this is maybe what I stand for, and I'm bringing in this person here.
Mm. I want to talk with people about spirit in the world, about the presence of spirit in the world. That's all that I care about. That's the only thing that interests me. Everything else, Georgia, has been a tool for that or a hiding of that.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all it's ever been. And so my preparation is uh I wonder what they're going to show me. I wonder what I'm going to learn. Because like you are, everyone is a unique, fundamentally never been in embodiment before expression of spirit. So
What can
what do
come?
you have?
Yeah.
What do you know? What do you know? What are you gonna, what door are you gonna open for me? What am I gonna learn from you that didn't exist in my life before?
So, that's a totally resonant thing. I don't know if it's just over time for us right now, but where I am, that curiosity is what I'm talking about. And I like how I wonder what.
I wonder what. I wonder what. And that speaks again to that perspective. That's the choice of deciding
Where you
that's how I want to see it. Because I mean, there's a lot of different ways we can see it. What a fucking asshole. Like me working in retail, I'm constantly in a struggle with, oh my God, you are a mirror of God in my life. And oh my God, you're a fucking asshole. Like,
has
that's a
been,
struggle.
yeah, yeah. But look at how, isn't it weird? And then staying in place because you haven't left retail,
No.
right? You haven't left it, but um so you talked about also beingness, like,
Mm.
and because this is not out in the world yet, uh I can speak on this. I've been practicing walking in silence,
Mm.
uh really challenging for me because you know, right? Even sitting here, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have my paints ready in case I feel like just doing something while we're here. Um, but the next thing that I'm preparing for, in speaking about preparation, is the an exhibition that I'm invited. I mean, I still have to apply like for the grant and all that stuff and get assistance, but I have a million ideas of what I could do and this, that, and the other. But I decided because in practicing silence, well, you have to be really, really present. And so in one of the meetings on my way in the car to talk with the curator, and this is also the expressive arts experience too, like be experiential, be in the moment. I just started talking on the phone, because I have no idea what I want to exhibit and what the big idea is for the show, right? Like they always want to know what's the big idea? How are you going to impact society and, humanity? And so I just start talking. And it turns out that clues are always left like in the early stages of stuff. So like at the very beginning of what I said were the words being in and going through, right? I've later changed the title, but it ends up that this is going to be, my whole point is this is going to be the title of the exhibition. And so it's all about really the process of things. Like, how did you come up with all of the content for your website and put it together, and what happened in between? And, so I love this idea of being in. I've changed the title to being in and moving through, because I feel like it's a reflection of my life as a multipotentialite artist who's tapped so many different things. And, I wonder what I can take from this. Like I wonder
Wow.
what.
Yeah.
So I think, right now being here, the timing of this and sitting with you and reflecting on how we met, where we met, and what we've done since, there's been a constant, like retail is your constant, right? Retail's been your constant. So it
It's the
must feed you.
interaction with people.
That's it. It must feed you in that way.
It feeds me and teaches me, and isn't always how I want to do it, but I keep getting the message over and over again that I will be there until I'm ready to do something different.
Mhm.
And I get that. I get it. Can I share with you, you've been talking about moving through. Can I share with you something that I've learned with it through the Celtic reconnecting that I'm doing?
Please. Yes.
So there are 9 directions in Celtic worldview.
Mhm.
There's the traditional four, and then there's also above and below, inside, outside, and moving through. Moving through is a fucking direction in Celtic worldview. Chills.
Oh, for so many reasons you don't even know yet. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, my pleasure. It's such a huge thing that's happening for me.
Well, I only really have now a taste of, because I told you I was looking through your website and me
Mm.
wanting to know, well, what's your direction? What is this for you? What is it?
Yes.
But the one thing you said, and sometimes I write down some of the words because I love words, is um, you don't know what is going to come through, but you are open to see what it teaches you. And the other thing you said was, that's all I care about now, right? People's
Yeah.
understanding or awareness of spirit or just spirit in the world. I'm trying to put that in words for myself, because so far my spiritual awakening is just happening in the intuition and the body, somatic, in a somatic kind of way. But this is, oh, I want to learn more now about the moving through, because everything informs my art making, right? Everything.
I I can't give you very much, but I can tell you what I have been intuitively connecting with is that it's a difference in worldview between animistic, like the ancient Celtic animistic worldview versus a Western worldview, where the Western worldview is objective and outside and looking above, below, and so there's only four cardinal directions because it's like looking at a flat map that you're not part of. Whereas the animistic Celtic worldview is you are immersed within the field of being.
Mm.
And so there's the cardinal directions, but then also centering you in space and time.
Amen.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Isn't time the fourth dimension?
Yeah,
That's
yes.
fabulous. How,
Apparently, according to physics.
according to physics, yeah. But it's I think that's really, really quite interesting. And I'll tell you another reason why. I've befriended someone who lives in Nova Scotia, is Irish, does my tarot reading every so often, or she does readings, not just
Yeah.
tarot, but she's a big fan of my energy and things that I'm doing. And when we come together, first of all, the accent goes on because I prefer, experiencing her that way. And this will be something that clearly she'll probably know a lot about. Also, as an advocate for disability, she's got disabilities that are visible and invisible, and just launched her podcast yesterday, Valentine's Day. Um, Finding Avalon, if you're interested.
Ooh,
But I can't
yeah.
wait to well, I've already made a connection. Just you telling me about right? About
Yeah.
this Celtic understanding and symbolism. And like, I just love all of this. And, you know, the throwing out, the discarding, the emptying is, oh, that reminds me. It's kind of where I'm at. Like, not that I don't care about people, but I don't care anymore about certain relationships. I don't care so much that you have, 500,000 followers and you've come up with the most innovative device, or I I am moving more and more, though I'm in it, I'm moving more and more away from the outside. But I love being a hermit though. I kind of love being inside. Um, it's yeah, it's where the
Same.
learning happens, you know?
Same.
Yeah,
Well, when you love your own company, where is better to be? Is just
period.
alone with yourself in silence.
Quite right. Magical things happen.
Magical things happen 100%.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
true. Wow. This is nice. Um, that was one of those practice silence moments, actually, because I keep talking and talking. As soon as I'm on a Zoom call or in front of a class, it's like nonstop, right?
Okay,
I
let's
was,
have a minute.
yeah, let's have a minute.
I'm really glad you're here. I know that's not silence, but as soon as we stop talking, I'm like, I want to tell her how glad I am that she's here.
Tell me energetically.
Where did we meet? Because I was thinking about that today and I couldn't
Purries,
remember. It
purries,
was.
girl.
It
Yeah.
was Paris. Okay. I love you.
Ah,
Like
I
I
love
do.
you. I love you too. It's a lot of years. Think about
It's,
it.
I know. I know. It has been a lot of years and a lot of growth. We're completely different people
Yeah,
than
that's
we
what.
were when we met. Like completely different people. And it's just occurred to me right now. I'm learning to embody authority, and you and I have kind of struggled in the same way with that in the past. So here we are.
Yep, you're not wrong. I get a little when people say things like, "Oh yeah, we both," or "You're like me," but that one is on point.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying about that. And
Right?
okay, I would also encourage you if you're like, that doesn't really fit me, please.
I do it
Like,
now, and that's
okay.
part of authority, right?
Right. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm digging into so much. My elders are like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I know, I'm reading history. I'm reading just like about the creation of patriarchy. And I'm researching what I call the witch wound, which is how separation sickness shows up in our society, specifically for women. And it's all based in the patriarchy and how the patriarchy um, influence society's view of how we relate to spirit, how we're not allowed to
Mhm.
talk to spirit. God doesn't talk to us. We're not allowed to teach. We're not allowed to communicate with spirit. Like that whole thing is just such a massive wound that
Is the right
I'm
word.
fucking done with. Like, fucking done with that.
So more wisdom, right? Is there a part of you that doesn't like is totally not surprised by that, even though you might be learning, reading about it?
No, no, I feel 100% like this is an ancestral push. I got an ancestral push about this.
Yeah,
When I went to talk, they're like, "It's this. Go look,
yeah,
see what happened." Because we're all carrying that still. And so no, I'm not surprised. I'm like, "Oh yeah, that makes oh, that's what that is. Oh,
yeah,
that's what oh fuck, my dad was
yeah.
doing all that." And oh, I see where it comes from now. Oh, I get it. And it's almost like I wasn't in a position to start healing all that really deep ancient shit until I read about what happened. Do you know what I mean? Had to check the ground first
Yes, yes,
before.
yes. Oh my gosh. It's a serious thing. Why? I mean, there's got to be what was I thinking of just as you were saying that? I was saying, I wonder who you are ancestrally. Like, I wonder if you've found out. Like, I don't know how to find out, but I kind of feel like just following where I'm supposed to go is getting me
Yeah.
there, because I'm gonna possibly be doing something that I never pictured myself doing. And I think I'm being led.
You think?
Well, I do know I'm being led. And it's just, okay, I'll do this.
Yeah. Yes. There's a lot of that.
Totally, a lot of
Okay.
it. Yeah,
All right. I get okay, I guess. Fine.
it is true.
If you want happiness, it's true.
Yeah. And that's also a choice, right? It's a choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I feel like I
how do you
sidetracked you.
say that again?
I feel like I sidetracked you off of a point.
Maybe, but how do you find time to like read?
Mm. Okay. So I get up at 5 o'clock every morning
Oh, without fail.
without fail. I tried to sleep in this morning until 7 because I stayed up a little late last night,
Yeah.
but I could not. At 6 o'clock, I was wide awake, and the body was like, "Mm, all right, you've had enough.
Yeah, it's time.
It's
Yeah.
time." And I don't start until 11, right? Like my shift is 11 to 7, which works for me.
Yeah. It's
And
nice.
so I have from 5 until 10:30 to do whatever the fuck I want in my life at my freshest. And that's my life.
Yes. Yes.
And then I go to work to, satisfy the corporate gods.
I want to say that out loud so often. Like, why am I here? Okay, I know I'm supposed to be here for a reason, but it's like reading is something now that I'm valuing.
Mm,
I don't do it enough, but I will be doing more of it. And writing also. So you had your prep, like for us sitting together with, this is so nice. I have my prep just to see. I have my purple diary
Nice.
also. This is from a while ago, 2022, when I realized something spiritually in me is happening. I need to drop this person. I need to drop that pattern, that behavior. And so I call it my spiritual journey.
Nice.
I said, which entries do I want to discover in prep for this? And I'm just going to tell you, like, okay, so I went back to, we're February, right?
Yeah.
I said, let me go back to a February closest to today's date. So I found a February 13th on the 2023 in 2023. And I'm going to read it.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's exciting.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes I'm surprised when I go back and I read, oh shit, this is where I was 2 years ago. Okay. After my meditation and listening as best I could, the message I heard was just do it and you will be backed. Then, as I picked up this book to write, there was a bridge saying, decide on a clean break or using your leverage. You have everything you need. I'm tired of being in the clinic. I don't really want to be responsible for the behavior of young people. Case notes and assessments of others. Behavior interests me, but also bores me. I don't want to live up to an association's standard of how I serve others. It's time to leap. So I read that before. That's right. That's where I was at the time. I just sat against the dining room wall and let the sun shine on my face as I breathed. I, of course, had tears and the tightness in my chest. The weight is more than I want to carry. I'd rather hide out in a gallery more than a therapy clinic. I'm going to stop there. But I thought that was really powerful for me to read again, primarily because I'm going back to the clinic.
No way.
I'm
Holy shit.
integrating it. I'm integrating it with the school. I'm going to say this out loud. This is going to go out in public, but at the end of the day, I'm about speaking my truth. And I welcome haters. I welcome fans. I welcome them all, right? Higher education, with college kids coming into a fine art program is not high. I think I came in with high, maybe expectations and approach, but then I had to just totally lower it, but not so much that. And that's not a judgment or a criticism. It's a seeing while I'm being there. It's what I see while I'm there. And it's like, I see myself not in an education, wearing the education hat in that way, in an academia way necessarily. I see it in a therapeutic way. I see these students in there can fucking hardly talk to you or never mind look at you, right? In the eyes, to communicate, to relate, saying, oh my gosh, masking everything with Professor Fullerton is going to show you how to use an acrylic wash, and we're going to study. That's great. That's where I came from. I educated myself, but my calling is not there. It's there, but wearing a different hat. And so that was not hard for me to see, but I had to leave the clinic with 10-year-olds cutting themselves and say, I can't carry that right now, to go and be with young people and see that what they need is what's happening in the clinic, not necessarily in the college art studio. So it's kind of full circle-ish, right?
Can I give you a little bit of feedback, something that's happening for me right now?
I love feedback. I live for it.
Okay. You said I'm not really wearing a teacher hat, and what I got really quickly was, oh, she's same path, same path. And I know how you feel about that, so maybe this doesn't hit. But I have, oh, I'm a teacher, I'm a this, I'm a that. I'm not. I'm a fucking priestess. I'm here to talk about spirit. And yeah, I will teach, and I'll do other things with that, but that's the role. Oop, chills.
Yep.
That's the role. And that's what I was getting from you too, is your
This is what it is. High priestess.
Listen, this is why we're here.
Yes. And now I'm getting it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm covered. Look at me. Like, how can I possibly, but period. On point.